The U.S. Navy, with its commanding fleet of 11 aircraft carriers, a staggering 25% of the world's total, is on the brink of rewriting military history. We are about to witness a paradigm shift as these colossal vessels, once synonymous with the sea, prepare to take to the skies. This audacious plan, rooted in history's wisdom but powered by the latest breakthroughs, is ready to show that America still wears the crown, especially when global heavyweights are fighting for the #1 spot. As geopolitical tensions escalate and defense spending skyrockets, the U.S. Navy's pursuit of airborne aircraft carriers marks a transformative response, projecting unparalleled might across the oceans and now, the skies. But what challenges must be conquered to achieve flight-worthy aircraft carriers? How will these skyward giants be deployed and controlled? And most intriguingly, what covert capabilities might such airborne leviathans conceal? Watch this video to find out. In a bold move aimed at reshaping the future of warfare, the Pentagon has hatched an audacious plan to elevate aircraft carriers from their traditional aquatic domain and launch them into the sky. While the idea might evoke comparisons to the fantastical helicarriers depicted in Marvel Cinematic Universe films, this is far from fiction. The Pentagon's research arm, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, is orchestrating a resolute effort to turn this visionary concept into reality. In fact, the United States isn't the first player to dabble in the concept of airships as floating launchpads. The tale takes us back to the early 20th century when the German military initiated this idea. They grappled with the vulnerability of colossal hydrogen-filled airships soaring the skies, essentially floating targets. To counter this, they concocted a peculiar solution: hanging compact aircraft, trapezoid style, beneath the airship. These aircraft were intended to shoo away enemy fighters and protect the mother airship, an early and rather rudimentary form of air power projection. The British quickly found ways to neutralize them, prompting the Germans to devise compact aircraft suspended from airships, a seemingly primitive solution that now appears amusing. Yet, history often demonstrates a reverse trend, which seemingly outlandish ideas from the past regain importance after decades of dormancy. Such is the case with the concept of a flying aircraft carrier, which has been revitalized within the corridors of DARPA. Central to the initiative is a flying mothership aircraft that doubles as a launch pad for a fleet of specialized drones named Gremlins. These drones, designated with cost efficiency in mind, hold the promise of versatile applications, from coordinated surveillance to potential combat engagements. To achieve this vision, Lockheed, a company known for its bold and pioneering ventures, set its sights on an audacious goal: constructing a flying aircraft carrier that could rival its traditional naval counterparts. This ambitious endeavor gave birth to the Lockheed CL-1201, a true marvel of engineering and imagination. With a wingspan stretching a whopping 1,120 feet and a fuselage spanning 560 feet, an impressive length that's equivalent to more than 2 Boeing 747s placed end to end. This aircraft carrier would be nothing short of colossal. But here's where it gets even more astonishing. The Lockheed CL-1201 wasn't just a massive structure. It was designed to take off using only 4 enormous turbofan engines, powered by regular jet fuel. During takeoff, it would ascend to an altitude below 16,000 feet. However, the true marvel happened when it reached this altitude. At this point, a nuclear reactor on board would take over, propelling the aircraft for a jaw-dropping 41 days straight, all while maintaining a cruising speed of Mach 0.8 and flying at around 30,000 feet. Imagine the possibilities: a floating fortress in the sky, capable of patrolling vast distances and staying airborne for an unprecedented duration. To put it in perspective, this flying aircraft carrier would have a crew of around 845 individuals, making it a small floating city in the sky. But that's not all. It could also accommodate an impressive fleet of 22 multi-role fighters within its massive frame, making it a truly formidable force. The carrier would even house a hangar bay for necessary repairs and maintenance, ensuring that the microfighters within its belly were always combat ready. However, as captivating as this concept was, the reality of its execution was a different story. The sheer size, cost, and the immense number of labor hours required likely played a significant role in preventing the Lockheed CL-1201 from progressing beyond the proposal stage. Another intriguing project emerged during the 1950s, the B-36 Peacemaker bomber, designed to be upgraded for microfighters. This aircraft was no ordinary creation. Its 230-foot wingspan outshone even the mighty B-52 Stratofortress, weighing a jaw-dropping 410,000 pounds when fully loaded with fuel and armament. The B-36 was intended to carry up to 4 McDonnell F-85 Goblin microfighters. Unfortunately, the timing didn't favor the B-36's grand ambitions, as World War II concluded before it could unleash its might on Berlin. But before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, drop a like and launch your virtual bomb on the subscribe button to become our exclusive soldier. Jumping ahead, recent tests by the U.S. Air Force featured the Lockheed Martin C-130A aircraft carrying the X-61A Gremlin UAV, propelled by a Williams F-107 turbofan engine, known for various American subsonic cruise missiles. This engine propels the 680-kilogram Gremlin at speeds up to 900 kilometers per hour. Although the exact flight duration remains a mystery, engineers aspire for a range exceeding 1,000 kilometers. Controlled remotely by an operator, Gremlins possess a carrying capacity of 65.7 kilograms, accommodating sensors, electronic warfare systems, and potentially even weaponry. The ultimate aim is to enable Gremlins to conduct shock operations, yet initial testing primarily focuses on refining technology for smooth entry, exit, and communication. Curiously named after technology-averse mythical creatures, the Gremlins encountered setbacks during testing. Maneuvering through turbulence and malfunctioning connection blocks posed challenges for the successful docking back onto the Lockheed Martin C-130A. The test shed light on both the potential and hurdles of this concept, underscoring the ongoing quest to integrate cutting-edge technology seamlessly into the realm of airborne carriers. At first glance, flying aircraft carriers seem needlessly complicated, risky, and carbon-intensive compared to leaving them floating in the water. However, the military has its concerns. Long-range missiles that can travel farther than the aircraft on the carriers can render the conventional paradigm useless. This predicament has spurred the U.S. Navy to consider novel solutions, replacing traditional carriers with comparatively cheap drones, as suggested by the Gremlin program head Scott Wierzbanowski, presents an intriguing solution. These drones could stealthily go in and create havoc before being intercepted, thereby adding a layer of versatility and efficiency to the concept. The odd proposal starts to make sense when viewed through the lens of modern warfare's evolving dynamics. Picture a swarm of drones causing chaos among the enemy's air defenses. It's like a modern-day twist on strategy. Just look at Nagorno-Karabakh. Those drones turned the table. The Azerbaijani military's adept use of Israeli drones showcased how these remotely controlled assets could alter the course of battle. Drones like the Aerostar, Orbiter 2M, and Hermes 450 played a pivotal role in identifying enemy positions, enabling precise artillery targeting, and even executing direct attacks. This strategic application was a turning point, effectively dismantling the defense strategies of their opponents. This revolutionary concept of flying aircraft carriers carries a significant weight in today's geopolitical landscape. Amid escalating tensions, the world's major powers are flexing their military muscles. The United States, for instance, eyes potential adversaries like Russia and China. Russia's aggressive nuclear missile development and its successful supersonic missile program put the U.S. on edge. While we've been occupied, China's been making big moves in hypersonic missiles and futuristic tech, and people all around the world are raising their eyebrows. And that's where the idea of flying aircraft carriers comes into focus. These flying powerhouses could change the balance of power, allowing the U.S. to maintain a strategic advantage. The conventional era of sending aircraft carriers near potentially hostile coastlines might be coming to an end. China's extended missile reach and advanced capabilities have pushed American carriers further from its shores, limiting their effectiveness. Flying aircraft carriers could potentially bridge this gap, offering a strategic solution that lets the U.S. project power where traditional carriers can't. The world keeps changing, and being on top means changing with it. Flying aircraft carriers show how the military keeps pushing its own limits. It's not just about impressive planes up there. It's about being open to change, reimagining strategies, and finding fresh ways to keep that edge. The sky's wide open now, and it could be where the future of warfare takes off. If this story had you on the edge of your seat, don't just stand there. Join our ranks by subscribing for more military insights and epic adventures.